Imagine this situation: a global private equity fund invests in an Indian startup. Years later, it exits through an offshore transaction and earns thousands of crores. The fund says this income is earned outside India. DTAA, that is Double Tax Avoidance Agreement, protects us. So no Indian tax. Supreme Court of India says no. Today we will break it down for you. Why Tiger Global did not get exemption on its Flipkart stake sale, and what this means for foreign investors, startups and exit planning. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This presentation is brought to you by Synergy Business Advisory Group Noida, a multi-disciplinary professional services firm delivering end-to-end advisory solutions across business consulting, startup and growth advisory, CFO and financial management services, insolvency and restructuring, PMLA and PUFE advisory, and real estate consulting. Tiger Global sold its stake in Flipkart through an offshore holding structure. The argument was simple. Seller, that is Global, Tiger Global, is a non-resident. Shares sold were foreign shares. Capital gains taxable only in a country of residence under DTAA. But Indian tax authorities disagreed and the matter reached to the Supreme Court. Let us start with Indian domestic law. Section 5, which reads Scope of total income. Section 5 clearly states if income accrues or arises in India, it is taxable in India, even for a non-resident. So, residence alone does not decide taxability. Section 9(1), which deals with deemed accrual in India, this section says income arising from transfer of a capital asset situated in India is deemed to accrue in India. Flipkart's business operations, customers, employees, and value creation was entirely in India. Explanation 5 to Section 9, subsection 1, clause 1, that is indirect tax rules, reads, this is the most crucial provision. It says, even if foreign shares are transferred, if they derive substantial value from Indian assets, capital gains will be taxable in India. This provision was specifically introduced to tax offshore exits in Indian companies. Explanation 5 to Section 9, subsection 1, clause 1, that is indirect tax rules, is a very critical provision. It says, even if foreign shares are transferred, however, if they derive substantial value from Indian assets, capital gains will be taxable in India. This provision was specifically introduced to tax offshore exits in Indian companies. Tiger relied heavily on DTAA protection, that is Article 13 protection. Article 13 provides that capital gains are taxable in the country of residence of the seller. But the Supreme Court clarified an important principle, which says DTAA benefits are not automatic. DTAA applies only when it is more beneficial to the taxpayer. If the transaction is designed only for tax avoidance and lacks commercial substance, DTAA protection can be denied. The court also emphasized India's anti-tax avoidance framework, that is GAR. GAR allows tax authorities to disregard arrangements entered primarily for tax benefit. In simple words, form cannot override substance. Paper entities and artificial structures will not survive scrutiny. In today's environment, foreign investors must plan exit with substances, documentation, and commercial rationale. Tax exposure should be evaluated before the transaction, not after receiving a notice. If you are a foreign investor, startup founder, or advisor involved in exits, this judgment is a must understand. This is CA and Insolvency Professional Praveen Agrawal signing off. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.